I don't know what happened to these cabbages over here. Yesterday morning, they were standing up and looking really good. And then yesterday evening, I didn't film it, but yesterday evening, I noticed that they had fallen over. But they weren't just fallen over like normal. They it almost looked like the dirt that had been around the base of the stem had been washed away, and they had fallen over, and that like stem that looked like it had been in the ground is like way too thin to be able to support the weight of the cabbage plant. And I don't know how that could have happened. Like nothing happened. It didn't rain yesterday, like nothing, I don't know. All right, I'm gonna go check the compost temperatures, and I think I might actually get some of compost heap number 1 material and put it around these cabbages that have fallen, and just try to give them some more support and some nutrients from this compost. I have no idea how effective that's gonna be, but I think it's worth the shot. So heap number 2 is not quite 160, which is good. I would love for it to hover right around where it is at like 155, 156, 157. That would be fantastic, because according to what I've read, that's a good temperature for it to cook at, but not so hot that it's going to kill off all the good bacteria and everything. So, I mean, obviously I'll check it again tomorrow. Not sure if it's still heating up. If it is, then it'll probably be 160 or over tomorrow. But hopefully it'll just stay right here, and I can leave it there for a couple of days and then flip it, and then it'll come back to this point at 155 or whatever for a couple of days, and I'll do that for a week or two, and then eventually it'll start going down in degrees. It won't go all the way up to 150, whatever. So, and then compost heap number 1, as you saw, was just around 100 degrees, which, according to the thermometer, is just warm and is not technically active. So does that mean I can put it in the soil? I mean, I can put it on the ground, around the plants? I'm gonna try it anyway, because I don't think those cabbages are gonna live if I don't give them some support. I could just use some potting soil, but I really don't like that potting soil. So I'm gonna try my compost and see what happens. Okay, well, you learn something new every day. I did get some compost. I'm gonna take that out to the garden in a second. But right when I was about to go and take it over there, I thought, oh, I should check the temperature of more than just the center of compost heap number 2. And sure enough, somehow the edges and not quite as deep down into the center is hotter. As you can see, it's over 160 here, sort of near the front, and it's not even down into the center of the heap, and it's like almost 165. I thought the edges were cooler. Okay, so here on the far edge, I just put it on the far edge, and it's like less than 150. But somehow, there are some pockets that are getting really hot. Well, I mean, I guess I'm still gonna let it sit. I just don't feel like turning it again today. Otherwise, I mean, I don't want to be doing it every day. So I'll probably definitely turn it tomorrow. I would be curious to see what temperature the center of the heap is at tomorrow. That's really weird. I thought the center of the heap was the hottest place. Maybe I had it in there too deep. Maybe that's what it is. Actually, that kind of looks like what it is. Yeah, because I have it in the center now and not pushed all the way in. Yeah, I just had it too deep. Yeah, it's over 160 in the center. Okay, I'm gonna let it stay at I'm gonna let it stay that hot for a day, and I'll flip it tomorrow. Maybe it's not that big of a deal. I don't know. Okay, I don't really think this is the ideal time of day to be doing this, but I'm afraid that if I don't do something, these cabbages are just gonna not even have a chance at all. So I'm gonna use this compost and see if I can give these guys a fighting chance. Or maybe I'm just gonna kill them if this compost isn't ready to be put in. But I think it should be okay, maybe. Maybe, we shall see. I'm gonna water this too. Oh, there's another one over here. Before I water that compost and those cabbage, I want to try to use the water in this watering can to kind of splash some of these aphids off of this bean plant. It's not working. It's not working. I'm gonna have to get the actual spray nozzle on the hose. Yeah, I mean, this soil is just not good. This dirt that we got from this place, I mean, it has no absorption. The water is just running off of it. See, the water goes straight into the compost, which is what it's supposed to do. The compost absorbs it and holds the water. It's gonna retain it for a little bit. The sun's gonna dry it out here in a minute, but because it's not covered. But when the water touches this soil around, it just runs right off. And that's not what you want. You want, you know, soil that is gonna hold and retain water, not just run off of it. See, it's pulling up here and just running off. Some of it's seeping in, but not very well. A lot of it's just running right off. I don't know if you can see it, but down here it's just running straight off of this. Not really seeping in very well. The compost, on the other hand, is retaining as much as it can. There's just not a lot of compost here. Okay. Well, that's about as good as I can do here for you guys. The rest is up to you. You decide if you want to live or you want to die. I'm gonna go ahead and cut the grass. It hasn't rained in over a week, so the grass didn't grow quite as fast this week as it did last week. So it should be easier to cut today, and I'm gonna go ahead and do it today instead of waiting until it gets longer because it's supposed to rain tomorrow. And I need it to rain. I hope it rains. And if it does rain tomorrow, then the grass is gonna, you know, shoot up, and then it'll be difficult to cut again. Last week it was difficult to cut, and that was annoying. So I'm gonna go ahead and knock it out today, and hopefully it won't be as difficult. That was so much easier than last week. I think I did that whole thing in just 2 bags. And I think last week it was like, I don't even know, 7 to 10 bags for just the backyard. So it definitely is advantageous to cut the grass before it gets too long with this crappy lawnmower that I have. All right, now I'm gonna do the side yard and I'll be done cutting grass for today. Look, I got a new watering can. is the watering can that we have is like falling apart. I finished the yards, finished cutting the yards, and I really should probably go ahead and chip up some more wood, some more branches, and go ahead and start collecting wood chips from my chipper shredder. Because over time, as I add more piles of compost, I'm gonna need more browns. In fact, I sort of have a third heap back there right now, just from that leftover grass from my neighbor back behind me, and then the grass that I just mowed. So I could go ahead and add some wood chips to that and just call that the third heap, and then I'll build another bin and then just throw that in there. I guess I could do that, but I don't know. But I do want to have some chips just on hand whenever I need it. I've seen that bug a couple of times out here, and I just tried to look it up, and I can't even pronounce the name of it. It's like the genus name or whatever it's called, the species name. I don't know if there's an actual name for it. And then I Googled that species name, and I couldn't really find a whole lot of good information really quickly on if it's good or bad, but I don't think it's a beneficial insect. I think it actually turns into one of those squash bug looking things, but like a different species of squash bug. And so it's probably not good. I just wanted to test out the new watering can. It's a much lighter flow than the other one, which I actually like, because that way it won't be less likely to damage young plants. I gotta figure out what's cutting these leaves. Is it a caterpillar maybe? I don't know where he is though. I approve. I approve of this new watering can. It is much nicer. It doesn't leak all over the place like the old one, which means that it goes a lot farther. Like the water that's in there lasts a lot longer because I'm not wasting a bunch of water, which is what always happens with this old one. It was driving me crazy, so I had to get a new one. Alright, that's gonna be it for the wood chipping. Almost a full bin there. As we'll do for now. Yeah, I really just need to start doing that like every day or every other day. Just accumulating those chips so that when I need them, I have them. And also if I have an excess, I can use them in the garden to put around plants as a mulch. So it's just a really good thing to have. Oh, and I think I'm gonna call the tree removal people and ask them if they can bring me one more load of wood chips, because we want to put chips all the way around these crepe myrtles back here. So we did it right here. We want to do it all the way around the crepe myrtles, and then I also just want to have, honestly, just have like a big pile of wood chips somewhere. I don't really know exactly where I would put that. Maybe just in the back corner of the yard or something. But it would be nice just to have a large pile of wood chips that's just decomposing over time. So even if it ended up just sitting there for a couple of years, well, at that point it's going to be usable as a compost. So a fungally rich, fungally dominated compost. So, but then even, I mean, I'm gonna need wood chips also to put into the pathways of the garden area once I put in like the actual long beds that I want to put in. I'm gonna put wood chips in the pathways of that. So I'm gonna need wood chips like forever. So I think it's just something that I just want to have a large pile on hand ready. So I need to call them and ask them if they can bring me another load. I'm actually gonna be done for today. I need to go take a shower. We're actually going to my sister's house tonight to actually sing happy birthday to my nephew. We went out to eat the other day on Friday for his birthday, but I think we didn't actually do cake or anything, so we're gonna actually go sing to him. So that's it until tomorrow.